Hey, welcome everybody into Friday Night Live here on the Missouri Sports Network. Guy Newcomb alongside here for the next hour and a half. Be visiting with coaches, running through the scores, wherever you may be listening from. We appreciate it. And we encourage you right now, hey, go to our Facebook page and hit the like button. And excuse me, and go to our YouTube page and subscribe. And every time that we go live. Certainly glad that you have tuned in. We've got scores coming up. We'll tell you that it's just gone final. And in a big game here in Southwest Missouri, Fair Grove stays undefeated as they go to 9-0 as they hand Stratford, the Indians, their first loss. 26-11 was the final. Coming up here on the show tonight, we've already confirmed Coach Casey Merrifield from Ava will be joining us at 9:45. And Coach Gensler from Pierce City will join us at 9:55. Pierce City gets a big win last night over Stockton. Here's what we know at this point right now. First off, we'll start off with last night's scores. On the scoreboard from last night, it was Ava over Willow Springs, 54-8. New Madrid County defeats Portageville 28-27. It was Fort Zumwalt North 42-6 over Timberland. Kirkwood defeats Hazelwood Central 58-0. It was Jeff City over Lutheran St. Charles 35-0. University City defeats Jennings 12-8. Pierce City over Stockton, 22-14. It was St. Clair defeating Owensville, 63-7. Van Far over Scotland County, 28-10. Washington defeats Francis House Central, 34-13. In eight-man action tonight, presented by Bambino's Italian Cafe, East Battlefield, Lone Pine. Hey, join us Monday for the Quarterback Club. Doors open at 11. Meals served at 11:30 and coaches at 12 o'clock. On the eight-man scoreboard from tonight, it was Appleton City 68-8 over Jasper. Archie defeats Liberal 75-20. We have reached out to Archie head coach Drew Smith as well. It was Bishop LeBlond over Plattsburgh 50-14. Greenfield shuts out Osceola 36-0. Lockwood defeats Rich Hill 66-20. Sweet Springs over Santa Fe 34-14. Platte Valley defeats Rockport 32-20. It was North Shelby over Southwest 66-14. St. Joe Christian defeats Stanberry 60-8. St. Paul Lutheran defeats Oric 51-0. Tarkio over South Holt, 54-35. Concordia defeats Wellington Napoleon, 45-35. West Nottoway over DeKalb, 42-0. And Worth County defeats Princeton, 86-16. On the Chevy Dealers of the Ozarks, Chevy Dealers of the Ozarks sponsoring our male and female athletes of the week. You can go to our YouTube page and pull those up as well. Had great interviews this week with Gabe Fields from Central St. Joe, or St. Joe High School out of Central High School in St. Joe, Missouri. I'll get it right. And our women's golf champion from Class 1, Riley Allred from Ash Grove. It was Adrian over Colcamp, 48-6. Kelly defeats Chaffee 48-0. It was Harrisburg over Lynn 51-0. Brookfield defeats Marceline 42-0. Polo over Maysville 42-8. Marionville defeats Miller 24-7. That was 8-7 at half. Ash Grove 20-18 over Sarcoxy. Elsewhere, Winfield defeats Veritas Christian 48-13. Central Bank of the Ozarks, one of our title sponsors here, and also sponsors the Quarterback Club. Page 3, Kirksville over Centralia 41-14. Mid Buchanan 7-3 over East Buchanan. Was Herman over Union 21-13. Bowling Green defeats Mark Twain. I apologize. Bowling Green defeats Mark Twain 64-12. Hey, sponsored by Liona Laborers Local 663. Hey, they remind us, hey, drive safely in those work zones. Those folks want to go home to their families as well. Elsewhere, it was Seneca defeating Lamar 57-7 as they go undefeated on the season. Was South Shelby shutting out Palmyra 44-0. Elsewhere, Mountain Grove over Thayer 26-7. Ava defeats Willow Springs, and that was from a night ago, 54-8. Page 3 was DeSoto over Herculaneum 43-6. Elsewhere, Camdenton shuts out Southeast 70-0. Lutheran North and Cardinal Ritter are in a battle. Last report, I believe, was 42-34 in that game. Jackson defeats Festus 43-7. Pleasant Hill over Nevada 46-21. Page 6 brought to you by Saddle Ridge. Saddle Ridge Golf and Country Club, one of the finest golf courses in southwest Missouri, and Missouri for that matter. Carthage defeats Neosho 42-20. It was CBC over St. Mary's 49-3. Hazelwood East over Parkway West 48-7. The Bank of Billings established 1889, the oldest bank in Christian County. Rockhurst defeats Slough 21-11. Tomorrow's schedule is East Kansas City will be at Central Kansas City. Confluence Prep will be at John Burroughs. Parkway North will be at McClure. Roosevelt will be at Miller Career Academy. Afton will be at Normandy. Clayton will be at Riverview Gardens. Gateway will be at Soldan. St. Dominic will be at Westminster Academy. Elsewhere, other finals coming across here in our message board. Lafayette County 48, Carrollton 12. And with 7:14 remaining in the fourth quarter, Lutheran North leads Cardinal Ritter 50-34. Other finals, Fairgrove defeats Stratford 26-11. South Shelby shuts out Palmyra 44-0. Warsaw over Pleasant Hope 68-8. Butler shuts out El Dorado Springs 42-0. Montgomery County over Louisiana 32-14. Pierce City last night defeats Stockton 22-14. And we'll be talking with Pierce City head coach Coach Gensler here in about 15 minutes. Liberty over Houston 6-0. It was Clark County 40-16 over Highland. Father Tolton defeats St. Michael 29-28. Kirksville over Centralia 41-12. Tipton defeats South Callaway 46-12. Mountain Grove over Thayer 26-7. Monroe City over Macon 44-9. Mid Buchanan 7-3 over East Buchanan. And I apologize. We're texting coaches as we speak right now, trying to lock in some guys that got some big wins tonight. We'll try and run through, and hopefully we'll be joined here by Alan Hilliard from Alan Hilliard Sports. I know he had a game at Lebanon, but that's not too far from his house. But he may jump on in the second hour, and we can run down some of the districts if they have been posted. Brookfield shuts out Marceline 42-0. And better turn my phone ringer up here or I'll miss a phone call. It's a well-oiled machine. Hey, we're 9 weeks into it. We're getting her done. In fact, right now, we're going to take a quick timeout here before we get to our coaches that are lined up, and we will be back after these messages on the Missouri Sports Network. You're listening to Friday Night Live. Back after this.
I'll have the avocado toast, minus the avocado.
So, toast.
Yeah. Everything is so expensive these days.
Hey, Chevy gets it. That's why they're keeping prices down to earth, like on the most affordable EV in America. A super strong and capable Chevy truck. And a high-tech Chevy SUV. Why is Chevy making affordable vehicles connected by OnStar? It's so together, we can do more.
We believe banking should make your life greater. It starts with affordable options to meet today's needs and tomorrow's dreams. From smart account options that fit your style to flexible loans for what comes next. It means convenient ways to access and manage your money whenever you need it and wherever you're headed. Most of all, it takes great support. Someone you can count on for trusted guidance and to be there for you every step of the way. Great options, great convenience, great support for life. Great Southern Bank, understanding what really matters.
What rhymes with great?
Participate!
Where does greatness start? Here, in the classroom. On the stage.
In the pool. On the field. Where will your greatness take you?
To better grades.
To more friends.
Yeah! Be great!
Participate!
Hey, welcome back to Friday Night Live here on the Missouri Sports Network. Certainly glad that you are here alongside with us as we are lining up coaches right now to join the show. We'll run through to get our first phone call here. We're expecting to hear from Casey Merrifield from Ava, but we'll run through some scores from a couple other locations that we have them throughout the state of Missouri. Hey, right now, I encourage you, once again, go to our Facebook page and like us on Facebook. Then you'll be made aware of any time that we go live. Go to our YouTube page and subscribe to our YouTube page. And you'll know every time that we go live, whether it's Wednesday, where are they now? Wednesdays, we're playing on Sports Kent Mueller, whether it's Huddle Up on Thursdays with myself, Coach Archer, and Johnny Mack, or whether it's On Deck. Or high school game day on Fridays at 5. Tremendous information going out this week, and hope you all have tuned in or will join in. Warsaw defeats Pleasant Hope 68-8. And we welcome into the show now Ava head coach Casey Merrifield. Coach, how are you, sir? I am doing good, Coach. Big win. Tell us a little bit about the game tonight or last night.
After the first quarter, and we made a couple adjustments and really got going, and really spiraled out of control fast. We had a couple big plays, a couple forced turnovers, and got away from them pretty quick. Quarterback Aiden Lane had a monster night in the county.
Yeah, you still with me, Coach?
Yeah.
Okay. Coach, you come out of last night's contest relatively healthy?
Yeah, we went into it pretty unhealthy. We've got 5 week 1 starters that are still on the sideline and hoping to get them back in the next week or 2.
Outstanding. Well, do you know what this does for you in districts? Will it affect you at all?
So I think, looking at the scores, I think the best I could figure it, we were going to be the 2 seed, and then the automatic flip, we will fall to the 3 and get a matchup with Houston. All
right, and that's a team you played already this year.
That is a team we played probably our best game of football all season against them the first time.
Well, outstanding. Well, what as you look back at last night, who were some of the standouts who performed well for you, or may have been a group of people?
It was, a great team effort, but Aiden Lane had the big game. He accounted for 5 total touchdowns, ran for 2, threw for 3, and just kind of led us to the victory. Had a monster game, controlling the offense and just getting the ball where it needed to be, as well as scoring those 5 touchdowns.
There won't be a bye or anything in your district, will there?
No, maybe the only 18 district in the state in Class 2, so there will be no bias in our district.
All right. Well, Coach, again, I greatly appreciate you being generous with your time here tonight. Congratulations on the win, and we look forward to maybe getting to talk to you again throughout the playoffs.
Sounds good. Thank you.
All right, Coach. Thank you so much. Have a great day.
You too. Bye.
Coach Casey Merrifield there, and I apologize on the audio there. It was not hooked up to my phone. I was on the charger, so hopefully we got that rectified from here on out. But I do apologize for that. I know the audio was a little bit low, but that happens. We will go back in and check some of the other scores here. Seckman over, well, that's at a halftime score. I'm sure they came out, went ahead and won that game. Republic, they defeat Willard 35-7. Elsewhere, it was Bishop LeBlond over Plattsburgh 50-14, and I apologize, my monitor is going on and off. Platte County over Raytown 56-13. It was Pierce City, as I mentioned, over Stockton 22-14. Penny defeats Trenton 35-13. Pembroke Hill over Van Horn 43-26. South Shelby over Palmyra 44-0. In the fourth quarter, Pacific leads St. James 56-20. St. Francis Borgia shuts out Osage 24-0. Park Hill defeats Oak Park 45-14. Warrensburg shuts out Oak Grove 41-0. Was West Platte over North Platte 28-14. North Andrew defeats Pattonsburg. North Andrew defeats Pattenburg 74-34. Pleasant Hill over Nevada 46-21. Mountain Grove defeats Thayer 26-7. Mound City at the half led Stewartsville 44-0. In the fourth quarter, Monette on top of Mount Vernon 48-40. That game is probably close to going final, but that's a lot of scores. And with a coached team, the games tend to run long because the ball's in the air on every play. Final score, MICDS defeats Mexico 45-7. We expect to hear from MICDS Rams head football coach Fred Bouchard here in the second hour. Polo over Maysville 42-8. Monroe City defeats Macon 44-9. Montgomery County over Louisiana 32-14. KIPPKC defeats Lone Jack 22-6. Lockwood over Rich Hill. Lockwood over Rich Hill 66-20. Just got confirmation here from Drew Smith, head coach at Archie, and he'll be joining us at 10:35. Lindbergh over Melville, 56-20. Midway defeats Lincoln 36-8. It was Liberty over North Kansas City, 42-7. In the third quarter, it was Lee Summit on top of Lee Summit North, but that may have gone final now. But at that time, it was 28-22. Lebanon defeats Waynesville 64-20. Lawson over Lathrop 49-0. It was Seneca over Lamar 57-7. So, and Lafayette defeats Marquette 38-16. Elsewhere, Fox defeats Ladue 27-10. Knox County over Keatsville 72-20. In overtime, Joplin defeats Webb City 43-42. St. Vincent over Jefferson of Festus 51-35. Liberty 6-0 over Houston. Hollister defeats Reed Spring 40-28. Holden over Knobnoster, 39-36. In the fourth quarter, Poplar Bluff led Hillsboro 29-15. Herman over Union 21-13. Hazelwood East over Parkway West 48-7. Odessa defeats Harrisonville 28-25. Belton over Ruskin 27-20. Grain Valley defeats Truman 53-0. Nixa shuts out Glendale 42-0. Hannibal over Fort Zumwalt West 20-17. Warrenton defeats Fort Zumwalt South 42-6. In the fourth quarter, it was Fort Zumwalt East over Howell North 20-13. Father Tolton defeats St. Michael 29-28. Jackson defeats Festus 43-7. Was Fairgrove 26-11 over Stratford. Kearney defeats Excelsior Springs 56-0. Eureka 63-28 over Pattonville. East Prairie shuts out Fredericktown 39-0. East Newton, 2 points better than McDonald County, 35-33. It was Fulton over Deshan 22-6. Drexel over New Heights Christian 42-34. Dexter defeats Scott City 62-7. DeSoto over Herculaneum 43-6. At the half, last report, Perryville was leading Cuba 34-0. Final score, Crystal City defeats Grandview 40-33. Clark County over Highland 40-16. Christian Brothers over St. Mary's 49-3. Benton defeats Chillicothe 27-13. Hickman over Chaminade 28-21. Kelly shuts out Chaffee 48-0. Kirksville over Centralia 41-12. Farmington defeats Park Hill Central 42-28. Cape Central shuts out Kennett 56-0. Caruthersville defeats St. Genevieve 42-20. Carthage over Neosho 42-20. Lafayette County defeating Carrollton 48-12. West Plains over Carl Junction 34-27, and that does have district implications. West Plains, no, actually, it does not. Carl Junction needed to win that game, and that would really kind of shuffle the deck there. But West Plains winning that 34-27 will assure them of staying at number 1. Carl Junction will stay at number 2, and Bolivar will stay at number 3. Had Carl Junction won that game, West Plains would have dropped to number 3, and Bolivar would have moved up to number 2. Lutheran North in the fourth quarter, 50-34. Camdenton 70-0 over Southeast. It's 50-40 now. Lutheran on top of Cardinal Ritter. And we welcome to the show now Pierce City head coach, Coach Gensler. Coach, thanks so much for your time.
Yeah, guys, thank you for having me on.
Coach, tell us, you get a big win last night over Stockton. Tell us about the ball game.
Yeah, it's a game that, Stockton coming in winning 7 in a row, we knew it was going to be a very big challenge for us. Start off, we kicked the ball and threw it down on a 8-minute drive and scored and went up 7-0. And then it was kind of go back and forth, and then they scored. And, ended up, we were up 14-6 at half. And then, second half, they come out and they score. And it was 14-14. And then on the next play, our first play from scrimmage, our running back goes 65 yards down our sideline. We go up 22-14. And then Stockton has a couple chances late and then gets down to our 20, and we held them out. But it was a really good high school football game.
Talk about some of your kids who played well this season and who played well in that ball game.
Well, for us, offensively, it starts with our running back, Evan Salazar. I think last night he had 30 or 31 carries for close to 200 yards, and he's been that guy for us for most of the year. I think he's up to around 1,600 yards right now, and they just had a really good season. He'll be the first to tell you that it starts up front, and our offensive line has done a great job. And then another kind of a running back for us scored last night. I think his name is Carson Jesperson. I think he's up to around 500 yards, and I think he had around 50 or 60 yards last night and scored, I think, twice. And I think he's up to 12 or 13 touchdowns. And so, for us, I mean, we're definitely a ground-heavy team. But I mean, for us, it starts up front. Our linemen have been really, really good all year.
Coach, tell us a little bit about what this means for you as far as district-wise.
Well, I think going into it, I think we were pretty locked into that 4-5 line, and I think we're going to end up being the 5. And that means for us, with being a Class 1 district, it's so spread out. And for us, I think we're going to end up going up to Windsor. And I haven't seen all the scores. And just kind of looking at the points and what could happen, I think we're going to end up going up there and being the 5 and then being the 4. And just kind of seeing, what we can do and stuff. I mean, I feel like right now we're starting to play our best football. And so, hopefully when we get that chance here in 2 weeks, we can put our best foot forward, and we'll see what happens.
Well, outstanding. Well, Coach, as always, we greatly appreciate you joining us here tonight. I know it was kind of a late, kind of reached out to you on Twitter to get this, but congratulations on the win. We look forward to visiting with you down the road.
Yeah. Hey, guys, thank you very much for reaching out, and thanks for having me on.
You bet, Coach. Hey, have a great night.
Hey, thank you. You too.
All right. Bye-bye. Well, I'll tell you what, folks, we're still having a little trouble with our audio here. So it was ringing through the board, but I couldn't hear him through the board. So I do apologize for that. That's on my fault. That's on my end. It's not Coach's or anything doing that. So we're going to take another little quick break here and see if we can't figure out these issues for you before we get off of here. So let's see if I can get this rectified. So we'll be back after this.
Is located in the heart of Springfield on historic Walnut Street, just blocks away from the Missouri State campus, Hammons Field, Great Southern Arena, and downtown Springfield. The Walnut Street Inn features newly remodeled rooms, breakfast served daily, and a friendly, accommodating staff. The Walnut Street Inn is also a great venue for private events. Book your stay or get more information at walnutstreetinn.com or call 417-864-6346.
Imagine a bank that goes where you go, creating seamless solutions for every step in your financial journey, allowing you to manage your money the way you want to, with a banking relationship that makes every day extraordinary. Imagine a world full of possibilities, always within reach. Central Bank. We do banking better.
The innocence of youth. Is there anything any better? But soon they'll be in high school and facing all the same challenges you faced. How to make friends, how to fit in, how to be cool. We want our children to have everything they'll need to live fulfilling and productive lives. Make sure the kids in your family are among the more than 290,000 participants here in Missouri who take part in high school sports or activities.
Hey, welcome back to Friday Night Live here on the Missouri Sports Network, MissouriSportsNetwork.com, where everyone has a home field advantage. I apologize for taking breaks that quick, but I've had an issue here with got a new box, and it had worked perfectly, but unable to take the phone calls right now. So I do apologize to that and apologize to the coaches. It's going out. It's just going out in a different way than it has in the past. But hey, if nothing else, we can adapt. We'll go on the fly here. Running through the scores again. It was final score is Branson defeats Hillcrest 49-0. It was Platte Valley over Rockport 32-20. Each Atchison defeats South Hold 54-35. Kansas City East Christian 34-28 over Northland Christian. TDW Jaguars forfeit again. I don't know that they played a game all year. Vianney in the fourth quarter leads Belleville West 28-27. Valley over St. Pius, the 10th out of Festus. It was 47-20 in the fourth. Final score, St. Joe Christian defeats Stanberry 60-8. North Shelby over Southwest 66-14. Fayette defeats Russellville 34-28. Tipton over South Callaway 46-12. Smithville defeats Winnetonka 43-7. And we'll be hearing from Josh Spear, the head coach at Smithville, in the show. Well, at least I'll be hearing from him, and I hope you guys can hear from him. Adrian over Colcamp 48-6. Seckman defeats Webster Groves 28-0. It was Sherwood over Versailles 30-6. St. Pius, the 10th out of Kansas City, defeats Savannah 49-21. It was Westran over Salisbury 26-14. Rockhurst defeats Slough 21-11. Rockwood Summit over Rittenhour 30-24. Republic defeats Willard 35-7. It was Staley over Raypeck 31-22. Warsaw defeats Pleasant Hope 68-8. It was Bishop LeBlanc 50-14 over Plattsburgh. Platte County defeats Raytown 56-13. It was Pierce City over Stockton 22-14. We just heard from Coach Gensler on that game. It was Penny over Trenton 35-13. Pembroke Hill defeats Van Horn 43-26. And St. Vincent, they continue to roll. They defeat Jefferson 51-35. And I think St. Vincent may be the best team in Class 1 in the state. I know that Marionville's been ranked number 1 up until this past week when they nearly lost to Ash Grove. But I think St. Vincent may be the best team in Class 1 in the state of Missouri. South Shelby over Palmyra 44-0. Pacific defeats St. James 56-20. Polo over Maysville 42-8. St. Francis Borgia over Osage 24-0. Park Hill defeats Oak Park 45-15. Hey, do us a favor. Hey, we've got it. It's now 58 seconds remaining in the fourth quarter. Lutheran North leads Cardinal Ritter 50-46. And that may be, it's an upset. I will tell you that. I don't know how big of an upset it is, but it's an upset for sure. Cardinal Ritter was, many thought, was maybe the best team in the state, no matter the class. And now, wouldn't you know it, the Misha website is locked up. Have a day. But we will try, if we can get to the Misha website, we will try and update once they get them updated, what it means. And we welcome to the show now the head coach for MICDS, Fred Bouchard. Coach Bouchard, thanks for your time. I'm doing well, Coach. You get a big win. Tell us about the ball game.
You know what? Traveling out of St. Louis Metro to Mexico, and I'm having coached in Northeast Missouri. While I'm pretty familiar with the Bulldogs from Mexico, but this newer version. When we know going into rural Friday night Missouri, there's going to be a packed crowd. It was senior night for them, but we really played pretty clean and pretty good in that first half. And pretty impressed with our guys as we kind of jumped out to a good lead. Just didn't have the fun in the first half. Just kind of worked in our behalf. And we'll take those when we get them. You can't always count on them, but you like when the ball bounces your way on those plays.
Coach, talk about some of the kids that played well for you today.
Really nice job, and we're pleased. Just it was good. He scored 12 touchdowns a year ago. Had a great sophomore year, and he's had a great junior year. He's playing a lot of defense. He's an outstanding defensive back. Leads our team or tied for the lead in receptions, but he hadn't scored a touchdown yet. So here, week 9, he kind of got off that mark and got a couple today. Henry Rohan scored 2 touchdowns, 1 on a kick return, and then Brian Gould found 3 ways to score. He threw 1, he caught 1, and he ran 1 in, and then there was an inadvertent whistle. He would have had a 4th scoop and score on a fumble recovery touchdown, but it got called back. So anyway, those were 3 of our guys. Obviously, when you're scoring in the passing game, you're getting great protection. We're scoring in the running game. The lineup front is doing a great job, and we kept Mexico off the board. A pretty good offensive team and scored 39 points a week ago, and it's running nice. That's going on, man. It's hard to completely shut them. And we kept them off the board for most of the first 46 minutes of the game.
Coach, what does the win mean district wise? And you may not know yet, but what are your hopes?
And then Chaminade's a 3 seed, and Ladue will be the 4 seed. So that's appearing how it's shaking down. I'm not positive about the back end. I know McClure lost to McClure North, so although they're seated ahead of them right now, they actually are the team that we're going to play on Friday. The 2 is going to play the 7th, so it's McClure High School. And I've been in contact with the coach and Howard. He's an excellent guy. He does a great job with the McClure guys, and so we host them on Friday.
Is this a team you're familiar with at all?
You know what? We do some stuff in the summer with them. That's why I'm always impressed with Coach Brown and his staff. They've actually got a few wins. They just slipped up in a really tight game, that rivalry game with McClure North, and they end up losing like a 3-point game there. But that record-wise, they should finish the regular season with either 2 or 3 wins. So they're explosive football team. McClure's got an outstanding football tradition from days of yore, and there's been some awesome players that have come out of that area of the city. So we just know that going forward in the playoffs, like everybody's playing for their football lives, and nothing comes easy at this time of the year.
And I know you're going into week 10 now, but are you relatively healthy, or are you expecting any guys to come back?
You know what? We actually have stayed pretty healthy. And I say stayed pretty healthy. We got banged up in the middle of the year a little bit and had some guys down, but we are back to full health now. And I say full health, some of those guys are 90%, but they're still pretty good football players, even 90%. So we're doing all right now, and now it's playing smart, practicing smart. We probably taper and practice a little bit more. We are we still tackle about every day, but we slow it down. We try not to we try just not to bang each other too much during the week, so that if we show up on Friday and Saturday really well. And I'll be honest with you, I was really impressed with how physical our kids were tonight. Mexico's that flex bone team, so they're downhill, fast and furious. And our guys really answered the call on the physical side. I thought our guys did a really good job playing a physical brand of football against a physical football team.
Well, outstanding. Well, Coach, again, we greatly appreciate you being part of the show. And we've got a new rule here: you have to be on 3 times to become a friend of the show, and you've already been on 4 times. So you are a friend of the show, and I greatly appreciate it.
All right. There you go, guy. Thank you. I always appreciate what you do for high school football in Missouri. The state of Missouri. It's a great sport, and it's a great time of the year, and everybody kind of gets to kick. Next week is just that fresh start, and teams will take advantage of it. It'll be a really cool time because there'll be some upsets, and teams get a kind of, now they get some guys back healthy. You just never know what happens. So thanks again for always promoting football.
You bet, Coach. Thanks for your time, and have a great evening.
You bet, John. Take care.
You bet. Coach Fred Bouchard, kind enough to join us there. And again, I apologize. My audio box, which is brand new and had been tested, and you can hear that. That's me messing with it. So I know it's plugged in, but I'm not sure why it is not working. And I do apologize. And we did test this, but let's just get back to the scoreboard here, and we'll try and hold the phone up to the mic here from here on out. And again, I apologize, but it's something. But it is frustrating. I know it's frustrating for you guys on the other end of it that are listening, but it is doubly frustrating for me. So let's get back to the scores here, because I'm pretty sure you can hear me. I know there's 323 of you already listening. Hey, send us a message on chat. Can you hear the coaches? I know the folks in the green room, they can hear if I hold it in a certain way. But let us know if you can hear them, and we'll do what we can. This has always been a labor of love, but it's frustrating as heck tonight. Going back to the scoreboard, it's Branson over Hillcrest 49-0. Platte Valley defeats Rockport 32-20. East Atchison over South Holt 54-35. Kansas City East Christian over Northland Christian 34-28. At last report, Vianney was leading Belleville West 28-27. That has not gone final. The Valley Catholic score against St. Pius X out of Festus was 47-20 late in the fourth. It's a final. St. Joe Christian defeats Stanberry 60-8. North Shelby over Southwest 66-14. Tipton defeats South Callaway 46-12. Smithville over Winnetaka 43-7. Sherwood defeats Versailles 28-0. St. Pius X out of Kansas City defeats Savannah 49-21. West Strand over Salisbury 26-14. Rockhurst defeats Slough 21-11. Rockwood Summit over Rittenhour 30-24. Republic defeats Willard 35-7. Staley over Ray Miller Peculiar 31-22. It was Freeburg, Illinois over Priory out of St. Louis 55-21. Potosi defeats St. Charles West 19-7. Warsaw over Pleasant Hope 68-8. Bishop LeBlanc defeats Plattsburgh 50-14. Platte County over Raytown 56-13. It was Pierce City over Stockton last night 22-14. Penny over Trenton 35-13. Pembroke Hill defeats Van Horn 43-26. It was Rolla over Parkview 48-8. South Shelby defeats Palmyra 44-0. It was St. Francis Borgia over Osage 24-0. Park Hill defeats Oak Park 45-15. And we welcome to the show now the head coach of Seneca Indians as they go to 9-0 after a 57-7 win over Lamar. Coach Hilburn, thanks for your time. Coach, tell us about the ball game tonight.
Yeah, I was proud of our kids, especially our defense. They came out and played extremely well tonight. I think we held Lamar to 80 total yards, and they actually threw a shutout. They had a pick six on us. So I think it started with our defense and our guys up front. Lamar's good at running the football, and we knew that was going to be a challenge for us. But our defense stepped up and did a really nice job tonight.
Coach, talk about some of the kids. I know you're 9 weeks into it, but who's been playing really well for you?
Yeah, our offensive line, we returned 4 guys from last year. So we have four seniors on the offensive line, and they kind of set the tone for us all year. And our tight end as well, Hagen Ginger, is a 3-year starter for us, and he just does – we're able to do so much with him. We attach him and then spread him out, and he's a really good receiver as well. So he makes us multiple. And then Caden Klaus, our quarterback, when we lost Gavin Hoover, who'd been a 2-year All-State player for us, we didn't really know what we were going to do. And and he's grown into that role and rushed for over 1,000 yards on the season, and passing game's coming along really nice as well. So he's been a tremendous leader for us, and continues to get better each and every week.
Coach, I know you're going into week 10 and there's going to be bumps and bruises, but outside of that, are you relatively healthy? I know you lost your quarterback, you just said, but other than that, are you relatively healthy?
Yeah, we're like you said, we're dinged up, but everybody's dinged up week 9. Fortunate for us, we got a bye week coming up, and number one, we got to get healthy and get as close to 100% as we can get for the playoff stretch, and then we're going to use that bye week to clean some stuff up. We're still making some mistakes, had way too many penalties tonight, so hopefully we can be productive with the bye week and get healthy and get better as a football team.
Talk about the importance of that bye week. You talked about maybe getting healthy and then maybe kind of getting to shore some things up. What outside of that, is there anything that's important about having the bye week, or is it the opportunity maybe to get to go and scout some teams that you may play?
No, we just spend it to focus on ourselves. I think sometimes the weeks are so short when you're in season, and you spend so much time game planning, and you have to get this and that in each and every week. Some of the details and the fundamentals you kind of push to the side for a while, so it kind of lets us reset. And so what we do is we make a list of every position group and what they need to improve on, and when we really try to focus on ourselves during that week.
Outstanding. Well, Coach, again, congratulations on the big win and a tremendous season up to this point. And hopefully we'll get to visit with you throughout the playoffs on a couple occasions.
Sounds great. Thanks for having me on. I appreciate it.
You bet, Coach. Have a great evening. Coach Cody Hilburn from Seneca, and they may be the best team in the state in Class 3. They're playing well right now. Didn't realize they'd lost their quarterback early in the season. We have an update on the Cardinal Ritter Lutheran North game. Cardinal Ritter has it 3rd and 4 from the Lutheran North 45-yard line with 33.9 seconds to play and no timeouts left for Cardinal Ritter. So we'll keep you updated on that game as well. And we're texting coaches now that I think we can hear them okay with what I've got rigged here, but we'll see. But as far as I know, everything is going out. So we'll get to them. You are listening to Friday Night Live. Friday Night Live here on the Missouri Sports Network, the Missouri Sports Network. And it has gone final. Lutheran North intercepts a pass in the end zone. And they preserve the win. So Lutheran North, they defeat. And good heavens, they do. They defeat Cardinal Ritter, and it looks like Lee Summit North came back and defeated Lee Summit 29-28. So I don't have any room to get that coach on right now, as we're kind of backed up here with coaches. So right now, I think we'll just run through the scores where we left off here. It was Warrensburg over Oak Grove 41-0. Northwest Cedar Hill defeats Oakville 31-27. It was West Platte over North Platte 28-14. North Andrew defeats Pattonsburg 74-34. Pleasant Hill over Nevada 46-21. Mountain Grove defeats Thayer 26-7. Mound City over Stewartsville 44-0. In the fourth quarter, I can't believe this hasn't gone final yet. Let's refresh this. But it was still Monette on top of Mount Vernon, 48-40, and it has gone final. 2 more touchdowns scored in that game as Monette hangs on for the win, 56-48 over Mount Vernon. MICDS MICDS, we just talked with Coach Bouchard, as they get a win 45-21 7. They're in that contest, and they will be the 2 seed. In that district. And if we get, and I apologize, I'm texting coaches again, and it's still fun, but it's frustrating right now. Polo over Maysville 42-8. Marshfield shuts out Central 46-0. Marionville over Miller 24-7. Monroe City over Macon 44-9. Lutheran South defeats Principia 42-7. Montgomery County over Louisiana 32-14. KC kept Kansas City out of Kansas City. They defeat Lone Jack 22-6. Lockwood over Rich Hill 66-20. Lindbergh defeats Melville 56-21. Midway over Lincoln 36-8. Liberty North defeats Blue Springs 31-21. Liberty over North Kansas City 42-7. Richmond defeats Lexington 58-22. Lee Summit, well, this has got Lee Summit over Lee Summit North 28-22, but I thought we had a report where Lee Summit North won that 29-28, but we'll see. Lebanon over Waynesville 64-20. Lawson defeats Lathrop 49-0. Seneca over Lamar 57-7. Lafayette defeats Marquette 38-16. Maryville shuts out Lafayette. St. Joe Lafayette 42-0. It was Fox defeating Ladue 27-10. County over Keatsville 72-20. Kickapoo defeats Ozark 14-9. Was Northeast over Harmon 58-6. Webb City falls to Joplin in overtime 43-42. St. Vincent 51-35 over Jefferson. Liberty defeats Houston 6-0. Liberty out of St. Louis 35-7 over Holt. Hollister defeats Reed Spring 40-28. Holden defeats Knobnoster 39-36. Summit Christian over Hogan 27-12. Poplar Bluff over Hillsboro 36-28. Herman defeats Union 21-13. Hazelwood East over Parkway West 48-7. Malden defeats Hayti defeats Malden 46-22. Odessa over Harrisonville 28-25. Belton defeats Ruskin 27-20. Fort Osage over Chrisman 59-6. Greenfield defeats Osceola 36-0. Grandview over Raytown South 26-7. Green Valley defeats Truman 53-0. Nixa shuts out Glendale 42-0. South Harrison over Gallatin 48-8. Hannibal defeats Fort Zumwalt West 20-17. Warrenton over Fort Zumwalt South 42-6. Fort Zumwalt East over Howell North 27-20. Father Tolton over St. Michael 29-28. Jackson defeats Festus 43-7. Fairgrove over Stratford 26-11. Kearney defeats Excelsior Springs 56-0. Eureka over Pattonville 63-28. East Prairie defeats Fredericktown 39-0. East Newton over McDonald County 35-33. Elsewhere, Winfield defeats Veritas Christian 48-13. Was Fulton over Deschênes 22-6. And we welcome to the show now Smithville head coach Josh Spear. Coach Spear, thanks for joining us.
Hey, thanks for having me, guys.
Coach, big win tonight. Tell us about the ball game.
Yeah, we were able to win 43-7 over a good Winnetonka team. We finished the regular season 7-2. Looking forward to moving in the playoffs. But yeah, tonight we started off really really well defensively. They run kind of a power type offense where they line up and they're going to run the football right at us. And I thought our defense did a great job of stopping the run all night. We really gave up one big play, a long pass play that they scored on us. Offensively, we started out slow. We missed some opportunities, left some out there that we wish we could have converted on. Really challenged the guys at halftime to play our best half of football in the second half. And I think we were pretty dang close to it with the way we were able to finish the game out.
Coach, tell us about some of the players who really played well for you tonight and have all year.
Yeah, Lincoln Roski, a sophomore running back who also played some defense for us. He actually had all 5 rushing touchdowns for us. He did a great job behind our offensive line, who we really hang our hat on. Those guys up front, Chase Turner, Colby Harris, Eli Avilas, Luke Banworth. Those guys are the guys that get the job done for us up front. They did a phenomenal job of just blocking and staying on blocks with those guys. Defensively, I thought our linebackers, all 3 of them, Jay Surratt, Hayes Middleton, and Jake Cruz, all did a really good job of playing downhill and stuff in the run against the team that's been really successful running the football.
Coach, what what's your overall team health at this point as you're going into week 10 and first weekend of our first week of playoffs?
Yeah, knock on wood. We have no major injuries at this point. We have some guys that are a little beat up, which is expected this time of year going into week 10 next week in the first round of the playoffs. You're naturally going to have some of those guys that have some bumps and bruises. But overall, we're fairly healthy. We got some guys that need to rest up a little this week and get back on track.
And what does this mean district-wise? And you may not know that yet. I'm having trouble even getting into the Mission website. I think everybody's going there right now.
Yeah, we're definitely going to end up the 2 seed behind Kearney in our district. They beat us 31-14 earlier in the year. They're a really good football team that we're hoping to get another shot at. Savannah, which is another really dang good football team, they're going to end up with the 3 seed. So we're going to hopefully get past the first round and then have a matchup with Savannah. And then we'll either face KC Southeast or Ruskin. I think there's still some scores to get figured out there next week in the first round of the playoffs at our place.
Well, outstanding. Well, Coach, I greatly appreciate you being generous with your time here in a busy time of the season, but congratulations on the win, and hopefully we can visit with you again as long as you keep going.
Awesome, man. Thanks so much. You guys have a great night.
You too. Thanks, Coach. Coach Josh Spear there from Smithville High School, and they get a big win tonight, and they will be the 2 seed in their district. So, again, hey, send us a chat. You can go on Facebook, you can go on YouTube, you can go to Twitter, you can chat with us right here. We're live in all those places right now. And hey, while you're doing it, just give us a like on Facebook, follow us on Twitter at Scoreboard Guy or at Missouri_sports, and go to our YouTube page, Missouri Sports Network, and subscribe. And then every time that we go live almost every day of the week, and sometimes 2 or 3 times during the week. But again, I do apologize for the audio. I'm assuming that the coaches can still be heard, but it won't, for some reason, it's not running through my box here. Got a couple more interviews, but right now I think we're going to bring in Alan Hilliard from Alan Hilliard Sports, if he's still with us. And Alan, can you hear me?
Yes, I can.
All right, Alan, tell us a little bit about the ball game you were at and what the implications were and what that district looks like.
Well, implications of it didn't really mean a whole lot there. It was kind of it wasn't how I expected it to completely go, but it was a very fast game for Lebanon. We talked to the Lebanon running back there earlier, a week or so ago, and he did what he proved he is very good. He scored 4 touchdowns in that ball game. Lebanon won 50-something to 20, I think was the final.
Yeah, 57-20, I think.
Yes.
So what is that as you look at that district that Waynesville's in with Kickapoo and Ozark, Nixa, and Joplin? What does that do to that district?
That doesn't change anything for Waynesville. They were still going to travel, but during that game, the big game going on in Springfield was Kickapoo and Ozark, and that turned out to be a very good ball game. Kickapoo wound up winning the close ball game, less than a touchdown. So Waynesville should travel to Ozark, and then Kickapoo will be the 3 seed, so they'll play Joplin most likely.
Very good, very good. And what? So where will you be next week?
I will be in Ozark. I heard they have a very lovely stadium there, and excited to go see the facility down there.
Yeah, one of the nicest facilities, maybe only second to Nixa here in this area in Southwest Missouri. Any of the scores tonight surprise you?
The Camden score, they came out very strong, a lot stronger than what I, thought that would have been. And then also the Lamar score there. I thought that kind of would have gone the other way.
Yeah, 57-7, but Seneca's awfully good, and Lamar is beat up. I was talking at the quarterback club with some folks, Lamar folks, fans, this past week, and they've got 7 or 8 very key guys that are out. And hey, well, I've got you. I'm having trouble with my phone jack. Is there a button I've got to push? I know we tested it and it was all good.
You have should be working there.
Yeah, well, hey, we'll do what we can tonight. Maybe you and I'll test it later on this week. But anyway, well, we've got coaches calling in. You're welcome to stay in the green room there. We're going to run through the scores one more time, and maybe come back and talk a little bit about districts here in a little bit on what some of these games had, as far as district implications. I know Stratford getting beat by Fair Grove. I don't know if that was enough for Mount Vernon to jump them because Mount Vernon lost.
Yeah, I've seen that. Another one that looked like a competitive ball game there, and or should have been a competitive ball game, and I thought Mount Vernon would have been on top of that ball game.
Yeah, 56-48 the final there, and there were, I think, 3 touchdowns scored in like the last 3 minutes of that game. So big offensive put out or yardage, I'm sure, by both teams in that game. But Alan, we appreciate it, and we may jump back on with you here towards the end of the show.
Yep, I'll be back at the house here. I'm actually still on the way back from Lebanon, but I'll be back home in about 10 minutes here.
Okay. All right. Alan, we'll talk to you soon.
All right. Bye.
Alan Hilliard from Alan Hilliard Sports. Kind enough to jump on with us there. We'll continue here with the scores. It was Fulton over Deschênes, 22-6. Drexel defeats New Heights Christian, 42-34. And we do have a correction, or not a correction. We were right. Lee Summit North, they did win, and this is according to Misha. Lee Summit North 29-28 over Lee Summit, and that's a big game. It's a big district implication game. Those two are likely to meet again in that district championship. It also kind of puts the power there in Lee Summit North. But we welcome to the show now from Archie, the head coach, Drew Smith. Coach Smith, thanks for joining us.
Absolutely. Thanks for having me on.
Coach, a big win tonight for the Whirlwinds. Tell us about the ball game.
We started out, it was our senior night, so we had a lot of extracurricular activities. Kind of started off a little slow, but we got things going with a couple of touchdowns from one of our seniors, Kale Snook, through the air. And then it was really kind of just about kind of establishing the run up front and just kind of keeping it simple, of just kind of simple, basic play calls to kind of get through the game with as few injuries as possible and just kind of getting to the playoffs and staying healthy and enjoying the win. So that was kind of our focus through this game.
Who played well for you tonight?
Kale Snook did, my wide receiver / slot receiver. He had a good game for us. Christian Andrews, he ran hard for us up the middle, had a couple of rushing touchdowns. And then on defense, Braden Daniels, my senior nose tackle, he's been a beast for us all year. He really shut down Liberal's running attack, along with Shane Hyder. He had a few sacks for us as well. So it was a team effort, but those are some kids that stood out for me.
Coach, what does this mean with regards to your district? Did this change anything for you tonight, or has it pretty much stayed the same?
It stayed the exact same. Liberal, they're not in our district, but they were in our conference. So we got the number 1 seed in districts, and then this wrapped up a third consecutive conference championship for us. So that was a big win for us to wrap that up and to win conference for the third year in a row outright. So, but nothing really with districts.
So tell us about your district. Who you likely face?
We will probably face either Rich Hill or Osceola. We have a bye next week, and they'll face each other, and then we'll face one of those two teams. And then after that, we'll face the winner of Appleton City or Drexel, and so that'll be a decent ball game. I'm expecting Appleton City to pull it out, but Drexel's a hard team. They play well, so they'll be ready for that game. But that'll be our districts in a sense.
What's your team's health wise? You guys pretty healthy?
We're getting there. We're on the men's right now. We lost a few starters early on in the year. We lost two-way starters to start off the year for the season. And then we've kind of lost a few backups and some JV players along the way, and then another starter for the last couple weeks ago, but we're going to be getting him back. So we're going to be getting about as healthy as we can for this playoff push.
Well, outstanding. Well, Coach, again, congratulations on the victory, and thanks for being part of the show tonight.
Absolutely. Thanks for inviting me on. Appreciate it.
You bet. Coach Drew Smith from the Archie Whirlwinds, kind enough to join us as they get a victory, and I can see that team maybe making a run in that 8-man playoff system. Continuing here with the scores was Drexel over New Heights Christian 42-34. Diamond defeats Skyline 30-12. Dexter over Scott City 62-7. It was DeSoto over Herculaneum 43-6. Nottoway Valley defeats DeKalb 42-0. Perryville over Cuba 38-14. Crystal City defeats Grandview 40-33. Windsor over Crestridge 51-16. Clark County defeats Highland 40-16. CBC over St. Mary's 49-3. Benton defeats Chillicothe 27-13. Charleston over Sykeston 32-14. It was Hickman over Chaminade 28-21. Kelly shuts out Chaffee 48-0. Kirksville defeats Centralia 41-12. Park Hill South over Central. St. Joe 34-16. Was Farmington over Central. Park Hill Central 42-28. Cape Central defeats Kennett 56-0. Clinton over Kansas City Center 40-0. Caruthersville defeats St. Genevieve 42-20. Carthage over Neosho 42-20. It was Lafayette County 48-12 over Carrollton. West Plains over Carl Junction 34-27. Lutheran North defeats Cardinal Ritter 50-48. It was Cameron over University out of Kansas City 42-20. Camdenton defeats Southeast out of Kansas City 70-0. It was California over Hallsville 42-36. Butler defeats El Dorado Springs 42-0. It was Forsyth over Buffalo 41-6. Brookfield shuts out Marceline 42-0. Bramer over Slater 62-40. Branson defeats Hillcrest 49-0. It was Bowling Green over Mark Twain 64-12. Boonville defeats Eldon 46-21. Bolivar over Logan Rogersville 49-28. Looked like Rogersville was going to come back in that contest. Bolivar was up 35-7, then it was 35-28, but Bolivar able to get 2 scores in there at the end. Blue Springs South over Lee Summit West 37-0. Windsor over Bayless 24-8. Troy Buchanan defeats Columbia Battle 49-28. Cassville over Aurora 21-11. Ash Grove defeats Sarcoxy 20-18. Was Archie over Liberal 75-20. Just got done visiting with Archie head coach Drew Smith. Appleton City defeats Jasper 68-8. It was Albany over King City 58-42. DeSmet over Edwardsville, Illinois 42-19. Adrian defeats Colcamp 48-6. Fayette over Russellville 34-28. Elias over Live for Life 17-12. Good game there. Quincy defeats Capital City 42-31. Elsewhere, it was Harrisburg over Lynn 51-0. Blair Oak shuts out Southern Boone 42-0. Mid Buchanan over East Buchanan 7-3. Rockbridge defeats Howell 28-21. It was Parkway Central over McClure North 40-0. It was Orchard Farm in overtime 36-35 over Moberly. Milan defeats Putnam County 28-22. Van Far over Scotland County 28-10. North County over Sullivan 35-8. Kirkwood shuts out Hazelwood Central 58-0, and that was yesterday. Also yesterday, Fort Zumwalt North defeated Timberland 42-6. New Madrid County Central 28-27 over Portageville yesterday, and Ava over Willow Springs 54-8. Washington defeats Howell Central 34-13. Jeff City shuts out Lutheran St. Peter's 35-0. So those are your scores. If we have them right now, you are listening to Friday Night Live here on the Missouri Sports Network, MissouriSportsNetwork.com, where everyone has a home field advantage. Scores to be updated throughout the evening at scoreboardguy.net, or you can go to MissouriSportsNetwork.com and click on the Scoreboard Guy link. And we welcome now to the show, Tipton head football coach, William Duke. Coach Duke, thanks so much for your time tonight.
Thanks for having us, and I appreciate everything you do, my man. Good stuff.
Coach, a big win for you guys tonight. You're heading into districts. Talk about tonight's game.
We had the opportunity to play South Callaway tonight. We're in a new conference, the Central State 8. Both South Callaway and us were undefeated going into this game. South Callaway is a heck of a football team. They're Class 2, so they're a little bit bigger than us. And our last 2 meetings in South Callaway haven't gone too good, actually. A couple years ago, we lost to them in the first round of the playoffs, and a year before that, we lost to them as well. So, they ended our season a couple of times, and Coach Wish there does a heck of a job with their football team, extremely fast. They're just a good football program, and our kids prepared really well, came out, started very strong, and were able to get the win tonight.
Coach, you guys pretty healthy coming out of tonight's game?
Yes, sir. Thanks be to God.
Tell us a little bit about what this means district-wise and who, if you know at this point, who your opponents are going to be, or do you get a bye?
Well, we were just looking at the district. In Class 1, we have a 10-team district, so 1 through 6 are going to get a bye. Apparently, 7 is going to play 10 for the chance to play 2, and 8 plays 9 for the chance to play 1. Right now, based on the point totals, and I don't know if everybody's played, it looks like we may be playing Crestridge or Lynn. Crestridge and Lynn are the 8 and 9 seed, and they will face off next week. Obviously, we've played Lynn this year, and we played Crestridge last year. Both teams that are going to play super hard. We just have to kind of focus on ourselves right now.
What do you feel like right now? Going into the district, you as a team, you're doing really well.
I think right now, knock on wood, we're just focusing on the week at hand. We're just focusing on where we're at and where we need to be, right? High school kids get an awful lot of chances at distractions that could take them away from things. When you're dealing with 14 to 18-year-old kids, you never know if the math test went bad or their girlfriend broke up with them or they had a fight with mom or dad or their truck broke down. And our kids, thankfully, have done a good job at, focusing on being here at practice and taking care of business while they're here. So I couldn't be more proud of them. There's just a wide number of guys that were super committed in the off season and haven't missed a day since December 13th for lifting weights and don't miss practice. And they come here with a good intensity and mindset. So I'm really proud of them.
As you look at getting this bye week, talk about the importance of that, whether it be healing up some bumps and bruises or putting some new stuff in, or just the ability to go and scout your next maybe couple of opponents. What is the importance of getting that bye week?
Well, like you mentioned, everybody this time of year has probably got bumps and bruises, and football is a tough sport. We tell people it's a collision sport, so there are people that are going to be banged up. So this really helps. Obviously, it also helps because you can take a little bit more time and focus on the fundamentals and kind of being brilliant at the basics and trying to make sure that you have all those things right. You go into this time of year, everybody is 0-0, and you have to earn another 48 minutes of football now. There's no guarantee for a next week. So we talk to our kids that playoff football has a higher sense of urgency, a higher sense of focus that you need. And if you want to be successful, you have to do those things.
All right. Well, outstanding. Well, Coach, friend of the show now, officially. I
appreciate everything you do. It's so incredible. And I don't know if people understand how much work you actually do to do this and how often your communication is. I can tell you that I certainly appreciate it, and I wish nothing but the best for you.
You bet. Thank you so much. And couldn't do it without you guys. Couldn't do it without the coaches and the fans. And it's fun. I mean, I have little electronical glitches here on occasion, but other than that, it's still fun. And I love meeting new people and talking to people that care about kids.
Well, God bless, man. And we appreciate you.
All right, Coach, have a great evening.
You too. Thank you.
Bye-bye. Coach William Duke there from Tipton. And I still haven't been able to get into Misha, but I can't fault them because I can't even get coaches on the box. So anyway, we're doing the best we can. We're going to take a quick time out here. We'll come back and visit with Fairgrove head coach Bill Voris after these messages, as he gets a big win, a big rivalry win, a big conference win, and number one team in the state in Class 2. So we'll be back after these messages from the Missouri Sports Network.
Street Inn is located in the heart of Springfield on historic Walnut Street, just blocks away from the Missouri State campus, Hammons Field, Great Southern Arena, and downtown Springfield. The Walnut Street Inn features newly remodeled rooms, breakfast served daily, and a friendly, accommodating staff. The Walnut Street Inn is also a great venue for private events. Book your stay or get more information at walnutstreetinn.com or call 417-864-6346.
Imagine a bank that goes where you go, creating seamless solutions for every step in your financial journey, allowing you to manage your money the way you want to, with a banking relationship that makes every day extraordinary. Imagine a world full of possibilities, always within reach. Central Bank. We do banking better.
The innocence of youth. Is there anything any better? But soon they'll be in high school and facing all the same challenges you faced. How to make friends, how to fit in, how to be cool. We want our children to have everything they'll need to live fulfilling and productive lives. Make sure the kids in your family are among the more than 290,000 participants here in Missouri who take part in high school sports or activities.
Hey, welcome back to Friday Night Live here on the Missouri Sports Network. My name is Guy Newcomb here. We've got just a few more minutes remaining in the show. We'll be joined by Fairgrove head football coach Bill Voris here in a few minutes, but we'll run through the scores here for those of you just tuning in. And as always, the Missouri State Highway Patrol reminds us to take that 3 seconds and buckle up. It's 3 seconds that could save your life. Be safe, be smart, and be here tomorrow. Hey, and for any of you basketball coaches or players or parents that are listening, hey, we're compiling a list of the 1,000 career point scorers throughout the state of Missouri. If you know of someone, we need their first and last name, the year of graduation, the school of graduation, and total points scored. If it's more than 1,000, you can email that to Missouri Career 1000 at gmail.com. Those lists are already over 1,000 student athletes at this point. On the football scoreboard from last night, it was Ava over Willow Springs, 54-8. New Madrid County defeated Portageville, 28-27. It was Fort Zumwalt North over Timberland, 42-6. It was Kirkwood over Hazelwood Central, 58-0. Jeff City defeats Lutheran St. Charles, 35-0. It was University City over Jennings, 12-8. Pierce City defeats Stockton 22-18. Again, these are scores from last night. St. Clair over Owensville 63-7. Van Far defeats Scotland County 28-10. Washington over Francis House Central 34-13. Tonight's scoreboard in 8-man action. It was Albany over King City 58-42. Appleton City defeats Jasper 68-8. Archie over Liberal 75-20. Bishop LeBlond defeats Plattsburgh 50-14. Drexel over New Heights, 42-34. Greenfield defeats Osceola, 36-0. It was Kansas City East Christian, 34-28 over Northland Christian. Knox County defeats Keatsville, 72-20. Lockwood over Rich Hill, 66-20. It was Mound City shutting out Stewartsville, 44-0. North Andrew over Pattonsburg, 74-34. Hardin Central defeats Northwest 48-42. Paris over Schuyler County 56-24. Sweet Springs over Santa Fe 34-14. Bramer defeats Slater 62-40. Another big night from Jordan Haley from Bramer. Platte Valley over Rockport 32-20. North Shelby defeats Southwest 66-14. St. Joe Christian over Stanberry 60-8. St. Paul Lutheran over Oric 51-0. Tarkio defeats South Holt 54-35. Concordia over Wellington Napoleon 45-35. West Nottoway defeats DeKalb 42-0. And Worth County 86-16 over Princeton. And welcome to the show now, Marionville. Fairgrove head coach Bill Voris. Coach Voris, how you doing? Coach, great game tonight. I know it had to be exciting for the fans, and it was a packed house there at Fairgrove. It's your rivalry game, 2 9-0 teams coming into tonight. Tell us about tonight's contest and the atmosphere.
Yeah, it was a great atmosphere. It was our senior night. It was also like our junior cheer camp night. So, I mean, it was packed. I bet there was 5,000 people here. It was awesome. It was almost playoff atmosphere, which is good. Both of our programs needed a game like this.
Tell us about the game flow. There were a couple of fourth downs, a couple of turnovers, a turnover late that really sealed the game for you guys. Tell us kind of how the flow kind of went.
Yeah, I mean they came out first series of the game, had a good game plan, ran some plays on offense that we hadn't seen them run quite as much, and so kudos to those guys having a good game plan, went down and scored the first drive, and then we actually had a 3-and-out and punted the football to them, and then our defense ended up getting a stop, and we were able to run some offense, and we got in a rhythm a little bit and scored, and then that was pretty much it for the first half, and they got a field goal late, so we were actually down at halftime, and then we got the ball first. Come out second half, our defense pitched a shutout in the second half, and honestly, like they really came back to those plays that they had success with in the first half. We kept thinking that they would come back to it, and they never did, and so our defense made some adjustments and played really well.
Coach, just take us through that last couple of series there. You guys get a turnover, a touchdown. You're up 19-11, I believe, at that point. So they're still within striking distance. Tell us about the last few series.
Yeah, we had a few fourth downs of our own. When we were up 19-11, tried to pick them up, keep our offense on the field. We sustained more drives. We have not had many drives this year that were 7, 8, 9, 10 plays. So it was good for us to stay out on the field. We took a shot on 4th and 3, going right at the end of the third quarter, and had it and didn't quite finish the play. So gave them back the football, and then on 4th, when it's 19-11, we got into our heavy set, and on 4th and 3. We had a play that we had been keeping kind of in our back pocket for a while, and then just try to take advantage of the fact that hadn't seen that play, and our quarterback found Bryden Baxter in the back of the end zone for a touchdown on 4th and 3. So that was kind of the nail in the coffin for us as far as that goes.
Well, and Seeger had a big game, not only at quarterback, but I think he picked a pass off as well.
He did. Like I said, our defense played really well. Like, they've been averaging 46 points a game, and we held them to 11 points and shut them out in the second half. Kudos to our defensive coordinator and our defensive coaches, our players, for making that adjustment. Like, that's a good football team, and to be able to shut them out in the second half, I think, says a lot about those guys.
Well, Saturday morning in Fair Grove, all the food tastes a little bit better, and the drinks are a little bit colder when you beat Stratford the night before, aren't they?
Yeah, it was a big game. Them being Class 3, us being Class 2, there's no chance of us seeing them again. So this was the one and only shot this year, and for the conference championship. So I was really happy for our kids and really happy for our community. Like I said, it was huge. It's packed house. Crowd was awesome, loud all game, gave our kids some energy. So it's our town travels well. Like, we'll pack the house at places we go to as well. So it's a special place.
Coach, tell us a little bit about districts. What do you get a bye, or what's going to happen now, and who will you face?
No, we'll be the 1 seed in the district. We have an 8-team district, so we'll play next week. I believe it'll be Willow. I haven't seen a score from all these games, but I believe it'll be Willow Springs at home next week. And like I said, I haven't had a chance to see them yet, but I know they play the SCA conference is really tough. So you can't just look at their record. They've played some really good competition all year.
Absolutely. Well, Coach, again, congratulations on a big win there, and staying number 1 in the state, number 1 in your district, because that's what really matters right now, is number 1 in the district. So you're going to have home field advantage throughout, and congratulations.
I appreciate it. It's also back-to-back conference championships for our kids, and getting that over Stratford again is something that I know that they'll never forget. So it was a good night.
Yeah, I don't think either side will ever forget those. But and Willow Springs, they did lose to Ava 54-8 last night.
Yep.
So, well, Coach Boris, as always, I greatly appreciate being generous with your time, and I know it's late here, but you guys ran a little bit long, so but it was a fun game to listen to and to follow along. But congratulations.
I appreciate it, guy.
All right, Coach, we'll see you. Coach Bill Voris there, kind enough to join us, and that'll actually put a wrap on it. We've got all the scores out. We've got, and I really want to say thanks to the coaches for bearing with me tonight. I had some technical difficulties with the phone, and but we had a number of coaches on, and I greatly appreciate it, and very kind words from Coach William Duke there at Tipton. For Coach Bouchard at MICDS to join us. That's the first time he's been on this year. Coach Voris, that was his, I think, second appearance. Coach Hilburn from Seneca was his second appearance. Coach Josh Spear from Smithville, kind enough to call in, making his first appearance on the show. Coach Merrifield from Ava, and Coach Gensler, his first appearance ever on the show from Pierce City. So we greatly appreciate that. We greatly appreciate the several thousand of you tonight that reached out to us via Twitter. The folks that got eyeballs on us right now that are watching this live on Restream. There's over 500 of you on here right now. And hey, send me a chat. Hey, converse back and forth with us. we don't always have to talk to the coaches. We can talk to you. Just chat with us. We've had coaches, or we've had fans anyway, reach out looking for scores, and coaches have called in looking for scores as well. We try and get that to you, and I greatly appreciate everybody in the green room. We got one person in the Bahamas. We got one person in Kansas City. We got one person in his man cave, and Alan Hilliard. Thanks for joining us as well, and kind of give us a rundown on that district. So without further ado, hey, the Missouri State Highway Patrol reminds us, take that 3 seconds and buckle up. It's 3 seconds that could save your life. Hey, thanks for bearing with us tonight. Have a great evening. Be safe, be smart, and be here tomorrow.